Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the given question is a missing number, which is the problem number 268 from the Leetcode, which is an easy problem. Given an array nums containing n distinct numbers in the range 0 to n. What does it mean? It means nothing but we have given an array which is a nums array which contains different elements within a range 0 to n. The n can be any number. For example, if the value of n is 5, then we're gonna have the range 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. In that range, we are missing an element which can be any element. Let's say the given an input nums is equal to 301. As we can see, the element 0, 1, 3. But the 2 number is missing, so the output is 2. As simple as that. As you can see the explanation, if you want n is 3, since there are 3 numbers, so all numbers are in the range 0 to 3, but 2 is the missing number, so it's gonna return 2. In this case 0, 1 is there, so the element which is missing must be 2, because the 2 after the 1 there is no element in this number. You can see there is from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, but the 8 number is missing, so output is true. We have n number of approaches, not n number of approaches, 3 to 4 approaches to solve this problem. The first approach which comes to mind is nothing but the linear search approach, which is not optimal and it takes a lot of time complexity and as well as space complexity. So we're gonna use hashing, which is a better technique than brute force approach. Hashing, what does hashing does? Hashing, when we use hashing, stores the element in that hashing. If the number found is 0, then we're gonna return that number. Let's implement this using pseudocode and understand what is the logic behind this missing number is. So as I said, we will be finding the pseudocode of the missing number in an array, and then we're gonna implement using the code. So given nums is equal to, I think it's not clear. So yeah, the given nums is equal to, let's take an example 1 to 4 and 5. So n is 5, right? The highest element is 5, right? So the missing element, as you all know, the given array is from 0 to n, that is from 0 to 5. What is the missing element? 1, 2, 4, 5. So 3 is the missing element. So missing element is 3. We need to find out the element which is 3. So how hashing works? As you all know, we're gonna declare a hash with values 6. Why? Because the highest element is 5 and the hash contains values from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. After this step, if 1 occurs, then the values in the hash will be 0. Let's take the values in the hashing will be 0. When the number occurs, I mean when we iterate through a loop, if the 1 occurs at the 1 place, the 0 becomes 1 because we are incrementing the value at the place 1. After that, when 2 occurs, the 2 is at this position, then it's gonna increment to 1. After that, when 4 occurs, it's gonna increment to 1. After that, 5 occurs, we're gonna increment it to 1. So when we iterate through loop, when I is equal to 1, I less than n, I plus plus. When we are iterating through from this to last element, if the element is equal to 0, then we gonna return the value of I. Then we are getting the missing element from the hashing. Let's see the pseudocode, how does it work. So let's declare an array which is an hash array of 0 size, right? After that, we're gonna use a loop I is equal to 0 till I less than n, I plus plus, and we're gonna increment the hash array if we found the value. For example, let's take 1. We found 1, so we're gonna increment if the array is less than array of I. So let's see how does hashing works. I 0 at 0 position. Let's take at 0 position, we not gonna increment because the values are, the 0 is not present in the nums array. Let's take now increment I value is 1, right? Array of 1 at 1 position, we gonna increment hash. So at 1 position we gonna increment. Next 2, hash of 2, we got it right, so we gonna increment it 1. Next 4, next I is 3, right? Because I is going from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So the I value is 3, right? Next array of 3. So at 3 position we don't have any at 3 position we don't have any value in the array, so it's gonna stay 0 only. Now 4, array of I is equal to, at fourth position we got 4, so it's gonna increment. So like this it's gonna work. After that we are iterating from 1 to n. From 1 to n, from here to the last element. If the hash of I mean is equal to 0, if the array of I is equal to 0, means if we are getting the value 0, then we gonna return that value. That value is nothing but I. If we are not getting any value, then we gonna return -1 at the outside of the loop. Let's implement this code.
After finding the pseudocode, so we all know that the given array is of nums. So let's find out the size of the array. So int n is equal to nums dot size, which gives the value of nums. After that, we're gonna declare a vector of integer type which gonna store hash values from n plus 1 comma 0. As you all know, I have mentioned above in the pseudocode that the hash value is n plus 1. Suppose because the n value starts from 0, if we want to find the fifth element, we need to increment it 1 to get the fifth element in the hash array. After that, so now the hash elements is created with all the values 0. Now we are going to iterate this through a loop to get to, to store the value which is present in the hash array. So I less than n, I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, and we're gonna increment hash array. So hash of nums of I plus plus, sorry, nums of I plus plus. After that, so let's now for iterating through a loop for I is equal to 0, not 0, 1, because when we keep 0, the missing number will also be 0, but in the given question 0 is not mentioned. So I less than n, I plus plus. If we found the hash of I, the value of I, if it is equal to 0, then we're gonna return I. After that, if we didn't found the value, what is this? Let's run this code and submit. If we are not getting the value, we're gonna return 0, which is mentioned in the question. If you want, you can see, guys. I think I'm doing some mistake. I have forgot this. Let's run the code. I know there's gonna error. Return 0 semicolon after declaration. All right, this gonna go up. I'm so sorry, guys. Let's run the code. Alright, I haven't declared the size. Int. Sorry, the type of variable I haven't declared. We are getting an error. Alright. And this is not required, guys. Second test case didn't run because when we are declaring 0, 1, the output is getting 2, but we actually need to find 2. What is the mistake which we are doing here? Sorry, guys. We are less than or equal to n. It's gonna iterate from 1 to the last element 1. Right? So the output is beautifully running. Let's submit this code and see what's the result. Yeah, the runtime is 0 milliseconds, which means 100%, and the memory use is 21.26 MB, which means 24%. If you guys want another optimal solution for the given question, I will be posting it. And that's it for today. Thank you, guys.